Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network and happy Friday. Friday means prop party. Week 5 prop party. We're talking alts, props, anytime touchdowns, parlays, all the good stuff in just 1 minute. That's right. It's prop party. Rudy always senses when it's time to party. He's ready for the props, the winners, the touchdowns, all the good stuff. So as you're coming in, happy Friday to you. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching on replay or if you're coming in, hit that like button. We certainly appreciate it. And again, if for some reason you are not subscribed to the Fanspeak Network, we've got shows, multiple shows usually every single weekday. We got Degen Dads later tonight at 9:30 for more of the week 5 best bets. But let me say hi to my guys. Tyler, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Did you enjoy the game last night? And how are you feeling about week 5? Oh, I think you're muted. Sorry.
Well, good thing we got that out of the way right at the beginning of the show. But I think the game was pretty good. It was really entertaining from what I thought was going to be a pretty bad game. I thought the Rams were just going to beat up on them. Mac Jones looked like a legit guy.
Yeah.
Hate to say it, but Rodgers ain't going to be around in black and gold long. I'll take Mac Jones in Pittsburgh the way he looks.
The way he looked. And all these guys get repaired by like the Shanahan disciples. Like, you know, this Sam Darnold was with the Shanahan and 49ers and then with Kevin O'Connell. And was Baker? He was with Sean McVay for like a brief time, right?
He showed up in LA, won that game with McVay, and then he was with Cohen and those guys down in
Tampa. So some of these guys, who did I read an article about that? It was about one of the guys, like the Baker, the Genos, the Sam Darnolds, and it talked about like, but it was like in reference to something. So my brain is not like nailing it, but it was something in reference to like these guys who like Bryce Young or Daniel Jones and that kind of stuff. Sometimes it is just a matter of like getting the right coaching. And I can't remember, is like talking about a bad situation, I think with Darnold or one of them. And then like the polar opposite of what they had with Shanahan, where, you know, a good coach. And so sometimes it is that. And so maybe Mac Jones could be the next one in line. If I were you, I would totally want Mac Jones.
I mean, I seen a tweet last night. If they would have just stuck to their guns and drafted him at 3 a couple years ago instead of Trey Lance.
Really?
Do we even know who Brock Purdy really is? Mac Jones probably has that contract.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Brock Purdy must just be thanking the skies above, the heavens above, that he was drafted by the Shanahans as Mr. Irrelevant. Because sometimes, it all is just the landing spot. So that was I thought they could be frisky. I didn't see that was awesome. That was
also, I can't bet Coach of the Year in PA. It's not one of the awards we can bet.
Oh, but Shanahan.
But Kyle Shanahan's got to be making a hell of a case for Coach of the Year.
Oh my God!
If he wins that division, puts up 13 wins with how many guys he lost throughout the year, like he's got to win it.
Right. Oh, I have to 100% agree. Steve, how did you feel about last night's game? I know we were texting, and how do you feel about week 5?
Yeah. The plus side, we hit our main bets, which is always good, always fun. But, we were close on some bigger parlays. I was close on some other bigger parlays that I did. And
you and I both needed a Devontae Adams touchdown.
The Devontae touchdown.
And I needed one more DeMarcus Robinson yard for another one. Yeah. And then, of course, our lotto.
I had 3 that were relying on it. One more DeMarcus Robinson yard.
God.
And just a thing here or there could have been just a massive day.
Yeah.
But like Tyler said, it was a fun game. Definitely not what I expected. We talked about it yesterday, and I was like, there's a chance the Rams just, dog walk the.
I think I had a little more faith in the 49ers than you did. You were worried it was going to be like an NBA shut it down situation.
I did. I mean, if the Rams go up like 21-0 at half, is McCaffrey even coming out there in the second half? Like, why risk it? And here's the thing, like Mac Jones, not only did he play great, that dude was dealing with like 6 injuries in the game.
Oh, I know.
He kept coming back.
There was like some graphic on Twitter that was like, which body part hurts? And it was like all red.
Yeah. And it's also like, that's why, and I texted you this last night, like, why is McVay A, going for it, and B, taking the ball out of Stafford's hands, who's Stafford looks.
That was so dumb to take the ball. Awesome. Just do like a fullback or a halfback dive.
And And especially when the quarterback on the other team is literal walking wounded. Like there's 3 minutes left in the game. You kicked the field goal tight. Maybe you get the ball back.
Do you think he didn't trust his kicker? That kicker was rough yesterday.
I guess, but that was a gimme. That was such a gimme shot. I know they've had block issues and stuff like that, but it's like at some point, I don't know. Just given that situation,
if you're going to go for it, I could understand if you were. We don't know. I mean, the kicker missed the extra point. They missed the a field goal they should have had. I get it. It was a gimme, but like if he did have any reservations with that, or just wanted to be aggressive, why are we not, like you said, keep the ball in Stafford's hands? Selfishly, we needed that to go to continue to have a chance to get some more. But again, we swept the board on the Substack plays. Again, link in the description for the Fanspeak Substack free week trial. And then just $34.99 for the year. It covers you through best ball, DFS, and all these awesome bets. We got the McCaffrey alt 60 plus. And then, of course, we got the parlay that we put in Substack yesterday. Steve and I built a lotto on here yesterday. We're going to build lottos Monday, Thursday, and Friday like we did. We'll talk about that in a minute from last Friday because that was kind of fun. But we had the one, Jake Tongas 40 plus. We needed 8 more McCaffrey yards and like 21 DeMarcus Robinson yards. Really not that far off. Like if you think about it, take like 1 or 2, or excuse me, take like 3 or 4 Kendrick Bourne catches, give them to those 2 guys. We might get there. So these lottos are going to hit. I'm promising you guys. And we're going to have some fun ones because we've been close multiple in a row now, and we're going to get some home. So yeah, that was a fun game. What are you thinking about week 5, Steve?
I mean, in general, hoping for a good week. This is the first week of buys, so that's interesting. We do have the London game, and it's kind of a snooze fest with 2 backup quarterbacks, and one of those being Dylan Gabriel. And then, but there are some good matchups. As we've talked about before, there are still injuries. We got some official reports today about like Bucky and Chuba and a couple other guys aren't going to play. And some others that were long expected, like Lamar was official today, but we kind of knew that all along. But yeah, it's just so the injuries are piling up, and we'll look for some opportunities to pivot off those. Did
you see there's one best, but I love obviously the BBMD that's run by what's his name, Steve? I can't think of it now. Diablo is the Twitter handle, but
I think it's Patrick Donovan or something.
Patrick Donovan, Diablo, the Twitter handle. That's amazing to like look at like different contests and where you stand and everything. Did you see the one where you can put in your username and see your injury portfolio? Basically, I haven't done it yet, but that's pretty wild. Let me go to the chat and then we will get started. Again, if you're coming in. If you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube, hit that like button. We certainly appreciate it. We're going to cover props. We're going to cover touchdowns. We're going to cover parlays. Let me say hello to the chat. We got Mr. Grapefruit in here. Love the Quinn Sean Judkins, ADT. Vikings are pretty banged up. That is, of course, the London game. We got Kicks in here. Good to see you, Kicks. Saying hi to Rudy, who was making his appearance, and everyone else. Good to see you. We got we just said hello to Mr. Grapefruit. Our guy, Mike Robb, gonna get some good props today. Absolutely, we're gonna keep this thing rolling. And I like Mr. Grapefruit's comment that he Mac Jones looked like Mr. Operation out there. So all right, guys. Now before we get into the props, let's talk about our lotto from last week. We can do this if there's a risk-free. I'll use a risk-free. If not, we'll just call it the $5 lotto. I put $5 lotto last week on. We did a rookie running back special, and we did. My guy, I just thought Scatterbo was going to be peppered, and I should have thought through. I was worried that Jackson Dart would take off and run too much. He did. He only threw. Scatterbo only had 2 receptions. Dart did take off and run too much. But we had Scatterbo 40 receiving yards, so that didn't get there. That was mine. Tyler had 2 Martin Hampton touchdowns. That was close. He got 1. He got halfway there, so could have easily gotten a second one. So halfway there. And Steve, we bullied you into pushing Genty to 100. He got it. So 1 out of 3. Tyler's was halfway there. Mine was the third.
Didn't Genty end up leading the slate in rushing yards?
I think so.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Now that's concerned. Obviously, their offensive line is pretty banged up. Colton Miller's out, and just they have other injuries on the offensive line. Right?
I don't know if you guys seen his rush chart, like where it shows you the lines of all where his runs went. They all went right behind that lineman that's now hurt.
Oh yeah.
So that was fun for a week.
That is concerning. Yeah, no, that is a definite concern. I like the whole Michael Myers stance, like how he's going back to his college stance and stuff like that. So that's pretty funny. But anyways, we will do a $5 fun lotto at the end of this. And hopefully get some home. We got Tim D in here. Didn't realize how fast Tutu Atwell was. Yeah, he darted down to the end. I thought he might get that one in and game would be over. But that game was so, I mean, it's funny. It just shows you the NFL just never disappoint. Well, there's plenty of dud games, but it never disappoints, keeps you on your toes. There's so many games like the Cowboys Sunday night that we thought they were going to get rolled. It was such a fun game. Goes to overtime, ends in a tie. Last night, everybody thinks 49ers are the walking wounded, just McCaffrey and backups, and are going to get steamrolled. And they win, and it was on the road. So it's just so fun. Two really fun games. Hopefully we have a lot more in this week 6. Now, guys, let's do our first segment.
Can I just make one quick comment on that?
Yeah.
Last night's the perfect example of when people give the excuse like, oh, it's Jake Browning. What can the Bengals do? Mac Jones with no receivers. He would love to have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins out there, So yeah, it's such a joke.
Oh, like giving the excuse for Browning. Yeah, I know.
Like, because Rams are an elite defense. They are really good.
Yeah. And that was
a short week and at home. And Mac Jones looked like,
credit to the game plan and just how good, obviously the play calling and the game plan, but that was just absolutely amazing. And yeah, maybe I'm now really judging. I'm blanking on the Bengals head coach. Name
Zach Taylor.
Yeah, I've seen a lot about like how they constantly have them in shotgun, the way they run their offense. It's set up for Burrow to get injured and that kind of stuff. And then obviously this backup's not put in a good situation.
Their line is absolutely dreadful also.
Yeah. Right.
Like I'm pretty sure if I put pads on, I can get to Jake Browning.
Exactly. So that is a big concern too. I definitely like the Lions props in that Lions Bengals game. But I wrote on the Bart Simpson right on a chalkboard, not going to bet anything with Jake Browning or any bad backup quarterbacks involved. All right, guys. Now it's time again. We're going to talk props, touchdowns, parlays. Let's do props first. All right. Week 5, your favorite props. What are you eyeing up, Tyler?
Yeah, my first one I'm going to roll with, I'm going to go to Miami, and I'm going to take A-Chain's rushing yards. I got it at 63.5. Playing Carolina, who gives up a bunch of explosive plays, and their run defense is absolutely dreadful. I just think that Miami, without Tyreek Hill, who was kind of the safety net on third downs, and when they wanted to throw, they would always go to him. Well, I just think they become more of a running team, and they're just going to feed A-Chain, maybe feed Gordon in more. I think that A-Chain number is a little too low. We know he could break that in one run. He could have one big run for 40 yards, and then we're sitting in a good spot. So 63.5 seems a little low, so I'll take a shot on that.
I like that. Would you guys approach his receiving at all this week? They only threw to him twice, but like if for some reason they got into a negative game script or more of a back and forth, just with Tyreek out, I saw someone talking about that on Twitter today about his receiving numbers last year when Hill was out. I don't know. It's something to consider. It's just he hasn't really gotten there in the receiving game, and then his reception line is so high. So, what do you think, Tyler? Would you go touch that or just stick with rushing?
Not pregame. I would wait if the game script isn't going my way. Maybe bet it live.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That makes sense. Like if it looks like that's the way it's trending, and he's going to have to be peppered, jump on it that early. Okay, I like that. HN rushing for Tyler. Steve, what do you got?
My first one is Jake Browning. No.
Yeah, right.
No, my first one, I'm going to go to the other team that played Monday night against the Dolphins, the Jets, and I'm going to go to the Cowboys and take George Pickens, 80 plus 121. Yeah, you could do it at his line. You could even go up to 90 or 100. I do not fear the Jets defense. I don't fear their passing defense. We saw Aaron Rodgers and company shred them week 1. Mm-hmm. We saw Josh Allen shred them before he sat out the rest of the game. We saw, like Tyler was saying, Tyreek was absolutely getting them before he got injured. And Darren Waller got 2 touchdowns. Like this is a bad secondary. I also like, Jake Ferguson in that game, and even Jalen Tolbert with now Turpin out. But I think you go with the guy who's the number 1 target, who's also the deep threat target, gain 80 yards. You got like 68 in the 2 previous games with CD Lamb, and when CD Lamb went out against the Bears and Giants. I think getting 80 is going to be fairly easy in this game. That does probably have a lot of shootout potential.
Yeah, and we can get to it in the parlay section, but I think there's a lot to like in that game. Obviously, if you want to go to the tight ends, both Mason Taylor and Ferguson, I think those could actually end up being official plays. I was just looking, I think if you wanted to approach it from receptions, you'd have to go to 6 for Ferguson. But if you wanted to go for yards, I think it's 50, somewhere around there. So I think you could do that too, like a Mason Taylor, Ferguson, Pickens, Garrett Wilson. If you throw in the quarterbacks, it kind of, correlates. You don't get much of a boost, but maybe you do Fields rushing. We could talk later, but I think that game lends itself to a lot of like a same game parlay. So no, I like that with the Pickens call. My first one, it kind of talked about it from the lotto perspective at the week of the rookie running backs and how I didn't get there with Scatabo receiving, but Scatabo was used so much. What do you have, like 27 attempts or something like that? To protect either way, we know he has a chance to, break tackles and kind of get more than is out there, and didn't get that last week, but I certainly think he can against the Saints defense. I'm going to stay on brand. Scatabo rush receiving, 100 plus rush receiving on DraftKings is hold on, I just lost it, but there is a rush receiving, it's plus money for 100 plus yards. So that kind of protects you either way. If he gets if they get a negative game script for some reason and Dart does check it down, you can, I think, get there that way. I think he's going to get a little receiving no matter what the game script. And, Dart kind of has like a little hamstring. So maybe he runs a little less. If he does, maybe Scatterbo gets a little more in the receiving, but I don't want to go directly to receiving. I do like the matchup against the Saints running. I think the Giants can win on the road there. And so he might even have a positive game script. Either way, you're protecting yourself either way. 100 plus 120 for our guy, Cam Scatterbo is, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. It's a good matchup. The usage is going to be high. He had 27 combined rushes and receptions last week. It could, and this week could alternate a little bit more where it's more, I think Justin said it in show the other night, even with regression, the chance that he goes below 20 is very low. Right. And with Jackson Dart dealing with the hamstring and stuff, like he may not run more, might be more dump offs this week. Maybe it's like, 15 carries and 8 dump offs or something like that.
Yeah, if you did want to approach I don't see a receiving line. Oh, no, now I do. If you did want to approach the receiving, 25 plus is plus 145. So, I don't mind that. All right, Tyler, what do you got for your second one?
Yeah, my second one, we're going to go with a little narrative street, and we're going to go with the hometown guy. We're going to go with the Detroit Lions going to Cincinnati. Montgomery's from Cincinnati.
Yes,
I got in at 49.5, and you look at his carry numbers all year. The only 2 defenses that have slowed this man down and kept him under 50 yards are the Packers and the Browns, 2 of the best run defenses in the entire league. So it's going to be a big game for Detroit. And we know Dan Campbell loves these narratives. He's going to probably play with a lead here. He's going to get Monty on the field. He's going to get his 8 to 12 carries. He might crush that number. I'll be on his touchdown also, maybe even his 2 touchdowns here. So I think it's a big Monty game.
Yeah. Did you hear the sister? It's the first time seeing him since she was in a bad car accident. So again, Dan Campbell's such a player's coach. I agree with you. Yeah. I had Monty written down. We are lockstep there. And Steve is a big David Montgomery guy. Yeah. I know that for a fact.
Yeah,
so I know
I had him down for a touchdown.
Yeah. So, yeah. I know we got to group chat. One of us has to take David Montgomery touchdown because to me that I absolutely love that. Cause isn't it only like minus 140 or something like that?
I see minus 180 on FanDuel.
Okay.
Let me see what DraftKings has it at.
So absolutely love the Monty, situation. And again, I talked about this kind of even before I knew the backstory part of it too. And going back to Cincinnati thing is, like you said, the only defenses that have slowed him down are the best run defenses. Yep. He destroyed the Ravens. Obviously, he can do it in even limited, because I know his touches are a little less than last year, but he can do it in limited touches. And why wouldn't they, split up the workload a little more on Sunday when they're likely winning by multiple scores? So I totally agree. Just before I even knew the narrative, the game script of it, the matchup of it, I loved it. And then once I heard the narrative of it, I was like, oh God, yeah, I'm playing him in DFS. He's likely going to be lower owned in DFS. So now I feel like more people are getting on his numbers. So I would be interested to see if he's still owned in DFS. But yes, absolutely love touchdown and the rushing line a ton. What's the rushing touchdown line on DraftKings, Steve?
It's minus 185. I thought it was lower, but yeah.
I feel like it's got juiced up a little bit over the last couple days too.
I do think it's gotten hit over these last few days, but
even his 2 only gets out to about 3-1. So
yeah. I was just going to say, I bet his 2 tuds is 3-1. So I love that, Tyler. Steve, what are you thinking for your next one?
The next one, I'm going to stay in the same game, and I agree. There's a lot of ways you can approach this. I'm going to go Breece Hall rush receiving, just because we've seen him kind of get there both. And also with the news of Braylon Allen being out, that will open up some more opportunities. Isaiah Davis will get mixed in some, but rush receiving 100 plus 101. I think that's a very fair number. He's average 86.5, and just this matchup is so good against the Cowboys. Bad defense. We saw Josh Jacobs, who's not a receiving back, have 71 receiving yards against go along with his rushing, and Elijah Wilson. Like, backs are getting there against the Cowboys. And I think Hall will be heavily featured in this game.
Yes, absolutely agree. My next one is Tyler Warren, Colts Raiders. That's another fun matchup. I put in the poll today on the show on YouTube, the poll I put favorite game to bet props from. Obviously Dallas Jets. We talked to how that could be a same game parlay. Certainly you could go to Raiders Colts. And I forget the last one I put, but maybe it was just, I put Chargers Washington too. But point is, I think there's a lot of things you could target in the Raiders Colts game indoors in Indy. Tyler Warren has just been a monster. I feel like he could be tight end 1 on the season. He looks so good. 60 plus receiving is minus 105. So I like that. And I'm probably honestly willing to ladder that. I think that could be, the Colts could definitely get right in this game at home. Get back after a very close loss last week in LA. So love Tyler Warren this week. Tyler, what else are you liking?
I'm going to go against your guys' team this week, the Washington Commanders.
I think that's fair.
I think the Chargers, they've been throwing the ball a lot with Herbert. I think that all reverts back this week with Alt being out. I don't think he has the time to stand back and throw. Your guys' front isn't the Giants' front, but I don't think they want him standing back there that long. I think they run the ball a ton against Washington. Hampton sitting around 64.5. Give me the over there. I think he crushes that number. Actually, his number spiked up to in the 70s now, so I see 73.
Yeah,
I'd still take the over. I just think it's a good matchup. He's shown he can break out and have explosive runs off the outside too. So it's the rookie running backs are starting to come in and take over.
Oh yeah,
I think this is the big spot for one.
Oh yeah. I have to see what it is on. I was going to ask you guys actually, though. I don't like betting a quarterback's rushing if they are playing from a big lead. Like, I think it always helps when it's like there's some urgency there, as we saw Mahomes didn't get there last week. Lamar got like right over his line, but not the alt that we had played. So, but then of course Lamar got injured. Lamar would have gotten soared over it with the matchup and the urgency that he had. Mahomes didn't. So I was going to ask you about Herbert rushing with like the bad offensive line. Does he take off and run? But then I really think Chargers win here. Maybe if there's not, that would be the thing. I think you get plus money at 20 on FanDuel because you can do different things. You'd have to go up to 25, just the increments that they do it on DraftKings. But no, I like that. Tyler, Steve, what do you got next?
Hold on. Sorry. Warren was my next one.
Oh, I stole it. Okay, good. Tyler stole my.
I was about to say his list probably went Warren and then Monty was below that, so we took his next two.
He was like, yeah. Well, actually, while you're doing that, Steve, let me mention a couple notes in the chat because I wanted to ask you about Mike's comment. But our guy Tim D says Shanahan is a magician, and yes, I saw this video of the 4 Bengals offensive linemen blocking one guy. That was hysterical. So Derrick Henry. At the beginning of the week, I was like, not interested. Then the more I thought about it, he's been a Texans killer. They're just going to need to rely on him. I understand if game script gets out of hand, but people were worried about this with McCaffrey. Now, McCaffrey didn't get there on rushing. Obviously, it was the receiving situation. We know that's not Henry's bag, but I kind of agree that, pissed off Derrick Henry has had a couple fumbles that have, been a part of costing them some games. And then he needs to, if the Ravens need him to kind of step up, and there have been guys, the running backs that have not had massive games, but it's not like this is like the Packers and Browns where you kind of want to stay away from it. What do you guys think about Derrick Henry? I know our guy Mike is a Ravens fan, but I like put in the oven 30 minutes at 365 degrees. But no, what do you think about just Derrick Henry this week?
I'm on the complete opposite end.
No, you're just worried
when it comes to this Ravens team. I'm betting him to be the lowest scoring team this week at 12-1.
Okay. So
Cooper Rush at quarterback. Ronnie Stanley's probably not playing. The defenses, half of them are gone.
Right.
Like, I just don't see how they score points, really. Like, Cooper Rush is going to get blitzed by these edge rushers, too. They know just to stack the box and slow him down, and Derrick Henry. If he breaks the big one and beats me, so be it. But I'm betting him at 12-1 to be the lowest scoring team. I don't think they get more than 10 points.
Yeah. Steve, what do you think? Maybe I was leaning too much into he could get there in the matchup, and he's always killed the Texans. What do you think?
I actually don't hate it because I do think he will get carries and he can break them regardless of the offensive line. So I don't hate it. I mean, I do worry like getting, you do have to start at like 90 for plus money and then go up to 100. So that is high for a guy who game script is probably going to get out of hand. But I still don't mind taking some shots on it just because I do think he is just in a position to get 20 carries this game as long as it stays within 2 scores.
Right. All right. We appreciate the chat. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, wrong order. If you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube, hit that like button. Like Mike, give some of your props that you're looking at. Let us know what you're thinking. Sometimes it's good to, all hands on deck, get some more feedback in there. But Steve, did you give your next one?
Yeah. There's a couple more that I like. I'm going to go for one. Speaking of Jackson Dart and not being able to run more, I'm going to go Darius Slayton. When Neighbors went down, Slayton did become the one. I think you can get him at 50 plus money plus 127. You could just take it at the line. I think it's like 43.5 right now. I like that. I think the Saints secondary is pretty bad. I think their defense is pretty bad. This feels like a good spot for the Giants. And I know Dart only threw like a $120 last week, but I think he's going to have to throw more. And I think Slayton is one of the biggest beneficiaries there with the Neighbors injury.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. You said 50 plus is plus money?
Yeah, plus 127.
All right, let me find my other one. I'm next, right? Okay, hopefully I'm not stealing one of your guys, but I'm going to go back to, I am kind of grossed out by the Texans offense. Think like you talked about earlier in the week, Steve, they're anemic, their offensive line issues, that kind of stuff. But the Ravens defense is just decimated. So Nico Collins, 80 plus yards. I don't always like to get these big receivers, but I do really like Pickens and Garrett Wilson and Nico and, some Detroit receivers. So this is a time where I kind of like some of these big lines. Maybe you could even have some fun with it in like a lotto type thing, laddering it up. But 80 plus is plus 106. I just think the Ravens defense, I mean, I guess the only concern is if they do jump out to do big of a lead and they're not throwing as much. But I don't know. What do you guys think about Nico?
I don't mind the Nico call. I'm on a different guy in that offense. That was going to be my next play. I want the shiny new toy in the backfield.
Okay. Are you going receiving? Because I was going to actually ask you about that. I want
rushing plus receiving at 77.5. You cover both.
Okay.
And then you kind of cover the game script also, where if it goes bad, you got to throw it. He can get you there. If he's just in the script where maybe Nico gets played out because they're winning by a ton, he's still going to run the ball. So I like it to 77.5 is rushing plus receiving.
How many targets did he get last week?
5.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of like it. 25 plus and that's what kind of I thought he was going to be drafted as, obviously, as like the receiving back. So I was kind of interested in the 25 plus, but I like the rushing plus receiving look. All right. So we covered the Texans, talked about the Ravens side, and Henry talked about the Texans side and Nico Collins and Woody Marks. Steve, what do you like next?
So I'm going to go with a rookie receiver, and that's T-Mac McMillan. 70 plus is plus 116. He's averaging 69.5. So this is right at his average, and you're getting plus money. Usually you'd have to get less money. And he's going against a terrible Miami secondary. I mean, we just saw Garrett Wilson get 80 in, as anemic as a passing game as it gets with the Jets and Justin Fields. So I know Bryce Young is nothing to write home about, but every game McMillan is getting, leading the team in targets. He's getting deep shots. He's dropped a couple, which is disappointing, but eventually those are going to start connecting, right? And if so, he would have already his first touchdown. He would have over 100-yard games. I think that's coming in. Honestly, I think it could come this week. I think he's the guy I wouldn't mind pushing just because the matchup is so good. And if you just look, he's getting open. Like if you watch the game, he's just wide open on so many opportunities. So he's dusting guys. No way Miami secondary finds a way to stop him.
I was going to say, everybody's been kind of getting there on Miami secondary. So, I mean, it makes me nervous attaching myself to Bryce Young because he's been inconsistent, but I do find that pretty interesting. This is hysterical. Mike Robb, thank you for the super chat. Now, how much do you all think Derrick Henry will be? Maybe some revenge DeAndre Hopkins. I didn't even think about that. You got the revenge DeAndre Hopkins. And then I love a good narrative, obviously. And yeah, I was more thinking the Texans killer, and he just has always crushed the Texans run defense. I
do think Henry's a little bit more interesting like DFS because I feel like he's priced a little down. So if it works, he's also going to be lower owned. So you're getting like a leverage play on that where, if he gets his prop, like great. Even if you ladder it up, like great, like you can make some money, but you can make some real money with a DFS bet on Henry because it's a massive leverage.
You and I talked about it. Yeah, you and I talked about it in the show yesterday, and I know we'll be putting out a show tomorrow morning with our top plays at each position. And I have been thinking about just like the Derrick Henry, Nico Collins skinny stack in DFS. I do feel like that's interesting. Mike Ross says, I'm definitely not bribing you. That was hysterical. Wait, so Steve, did you just give yours? I swear I've been focusing, but I've been trying to take notes too. I swear.
She's not focusing. I said T-Mac.
Okay. T-Mac. That's right. All right. We just covered Nico, Slayton, T-Mac. I'm trying to see if I had any others. Tyler, did you have any others? I think we covered a lot of mine. I think I have one more, maybe two.
Nope, that was it for me.
Okay. Hold on. I think I have. Well, let me ask you this. I just love the Lions in this game, obviously the Bengals. And the nice thing about the Lions is they don't take the foot off the gas. So receiver props, Amon-Ra, you'd have to go like 70 or 80. JMO, you'd have to go 60. 50 is minus 112, 60s plus 132. You could obviously approach from receptions if you'd rather. Laporta, 40 or 50. Are there any Lions outside? I love the David Montgomery rushing and touchdown. Are there any other Lions angles that you guys were looking at?
I mean, I think one way to approach it is just because I think the lines are all priced kind of fairly. You can go, a couple of these guys will go over. I just think it's tough to know which ones.
Yeah.
I think the better way may be to just pick three guys to get touchdowns. Monty being one, and whether it's ASB, whether it's JMO, whether it's Gibbs, those are the easy ones. But put in Laporta. I mean, this could easily be a Laporta type game. Or, I mean, look, they're probably going to score 5 touchdowns this game, if not 7.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's unreasonable. We saw what the Broncos did, and the Broncos just kind of made it a party. And it's like whoever wants to get there can get there.
Yeah. Yeah. For our one lotto, Sutton was going nuts, and then they just stopped. And that's the only thing you worry about.
He had 80 yards at halftime, and then they didn't throw him again.
And we needed 100. Obviously, we didn't get there with Gesicki either, but in that Monday night sweat. But yeah, that's the only thing you worry about with blowouts. But the nice thing about the Lions is they never seem to take the foot off the gas. So
it's just these 5 guys. Like
it's very
Raymond and Tesla will get like 3 targets combined.
Right. Kicks likes Laporta touchdown. I think that's a fair look as well. Yeah, like you said, pick your Lions touchdowns. Some are getting there. So I do like that. Let me see. Okay. My last one is Rachaad White, 25 plus receiving, plus 102 on FanDuel. It looks like obviously he's going to be the guy. And I just respect that Seattle defense. So I think that could be, and then obviously they have some offensive line injuries. So I like Rachaad White getting there in the receiving game, and you only have to go to 25 plus, which kind of surprises me. So I like that a lot. I know we've talked a lot about a lot of running back rush receiving, and I do like that for a lot of the guys we talked about, but yeah, he's one where I kind of just like the running back receiving. Any others for you, Steve?
Yeah, I like two other things that I like. One, okay, I would say is a little. I just feel it's a low line. I like not Daniel Jones. I actually don't mind Daniel Jones, but I like Bo Nix plus 200 passing. I'm sorry, 220 passing versus the Eagles. I think, you know.
What have quarterbacks been doing recently against the Eagles defense? I'm trying to think.
I mean, Baker threw for like 280.
Okay.
Stafford threw for 260, 270. Okay. You know, I think I don't think Mahomes got 220, but that was also, of course, without Worthy and everything else.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Dak would have had that if Lamb doesn't drop 2 deep passes.
Yeah. Anything else? You said you had one more.
The other one, I keep wanting. I know you mentioned Tyler Warren. This Colts team, I just really like, and I like the offense. We saw Alec Pierce is out. I'm definitely not going back to Adonai. I'm not going to Adonai Mitchell. Don't know if there's going to be any trust there. And Pittman's banged up. So I think the other line, I was debating between a couple of different things. I actually like Jonathan Taylor receiving on DraftKings. If you can get 20 on FanDuel, I'd probably do that. 15 plus is minus 118. 25 plus is plus 189. I'm not sure what it'd be on FanDuel for 20 on the dot. I think that'd be a really good line. He's getting that in every game. You know, he's getting 3 catches. He got 2 catches in one game, got 50 yards, but he's getting like three or more catches in every other game. And again, no Alec Pierce. I don't know how much they trust Adonai Mitchell, and Pittman's a little banged up, so he might even get a few extra targets this game.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think that's fair. I was trying to search it while you were talking. Yeah, 20 plus is plus 118 on FanDuel. Yeah. I like that. I think that's pretty nice and makes a ton of sense. What did he get last week? It was that one of the ones we had the long. No, it was week 1. He had a big long one.
Yeah, he only got like 24, 25. It was lower. He got 3 catches, and they were all kind of short, or 4 catches. I'd have to look it up. But it's just I like the game.
Yeah, no, I like a lot of the Colts stuff. Just like I like a lot of the. I talked about the DFS. Like some games, I like the game environment, like Jets, Cowboys. I probably would do like a same game parlay with both teams. Some I like just the one side, and we just bet like 49ers receiving props because we knew it kind of had to go somewhere. And Bourne was the one that I wasn't on, so whoops. But you know, sometimes it is just, well, I'm just interested in one team, like the Colts or the Lions. Yeah. So I get that a lot. I didn't realize McDonald's was bringing back the Monopoly game. How out of the loop am I? I didn't realize that. I used to love that when I was in high school. No strategy shows for it, but he says he thinks I'm a quarter pounder girl. Tyler screams Happy Meal. Steve's a nugget guy. What's your favorite go-to at Mickey D's, Steve and Tyler? Steve?
I mean, it would be the Nuggets. He nailed it.
The Nuggies. I haven't had McDonald's in a while. I actually might be Nuggets too. Tyler, what's your go-to?
Just a double cheeseburger and fries.
There you go. Keep it easy. Keep it easy. All right. We've talked our favorite props. Now it's time to talk touchdowns.
Watch out! He's got getting away from the pop speed. Touchdown!
All right. Tyler, I mean, we don't have to steal yours, but I feel like Monty should count for you because we all love Monty, but I know you loved Monty. Who else do you like?
Yeah, another one I like Hurts. If you can find a good number on him. I've seen there's minus 125s out there. I don't hate getting on that. I just think the Philly blows out Denver this week. I think Denver just finally meets a real football team on their schedule finally. And they're getting
Philly too, right?
Yeah, I think it's a big Saquon game. I think they just kind of just run all over them. So I like Hurts. And another one I like JSN versus that Tampa Bay defense. I think he gets in the end zone again here.
Yeah, I like both those looks because I bet, like you said, Hurts is probably like what, minus 120, 125, but JSN you're getting plus money.
Plus 125.
Yeah. Steve, what is your favorite, one of your favorite touchdowns on the week?
Yeah, I mean, my favorites a couple of my favorites come from the Cowboys Jets game. I really like Justin Fields anytime touchdown. We've seen his 2 healthy games. He has 3 combined touchdowns. And with losing Braylon Allen, that was their red zone hammer, right? So I think it's just going to be more on Justin Fields. On the other side, I like Jake Ferguson touchdown. We saw last week. He's Dak's underneath guy, particularly in the red zone. And that's plus 160 I'm seeing on DK. So not only do I like them together, but I like them separate for sure. So, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of touchdowns scored in this game. Some other guys you can target, but those are my 2 favorite from the game.
Well, any others that you like? We can just kind of all go around.
I mean, Pickens has 3 straight games with the touchdown.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams has obviously had good touchdown usage and work. I think on the Jets side, Garrett Wilson is fine. I don't like Breece Hall for a touchdown. I think, I just worry still short yardage. He's not going to be on the field, so he has to do it from like 20 yards plus.
Right.
So I don't love the number you're getting there.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. My favorite are kind of the guys that I liked in the props. Tyler Warren is where I just lost his number. And my screen froze. Let me see here. Tyler Warren is probably one of my favorites for the price considered. And let me see if I can find it.
It's plus 160 on DK.
Okay. You said plus 160. 160. Yeah. No, Tyler Warren is my favorite with the price. Cam Scatterbo is going right back there. He had 3 or 4 carries inside the 5, I believe. So the usage was there. Yeah, we're very big Cam Scatterbo fans. Minus 130. I feel like that's a fair price. Shopping around. I'm looking at DK right now. Totally in lockstep with your guys' touchdowns, especially the Monty one. I thought I had one other one that I really liked. But now it's eluding me. Oh, I know what it was. I was going to ask you guys about Mbuka. He's kind of been a touchdown machine. Another game with Evans out. I love fantasy points content and their advanced matchups. Talking about actually there could be some good underneath stuff for Mbuka. What do you guys think about him at plus 170?
I don't mind that call.
And he got a boost with Devin Witherspoon being out again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I do have that written down then. Tyler, did you have any others?
No, that was it for me on the touchdowns.
Okay. So yeah, we kind of covered Monty, Hurts, JSN, Scatterbo, Warren, Pickens, Fields, Ferguson, and Buka. I think that's a kind of a good crop to go through. Some a little juice, but a lot of plus money, bangers there. Kicks says Fields plus 135 on Novig. Okay, interesting. Mike Rob says, do you guys have an underrated game, like one you think may hold more props or bets based off how you think the game will go than what's the market saying? That's a good question, because obviously the ones I like is probably where the market is going already with Dallas, Dallas Jets, the Lions side and the Colts side. So I'll go to you first, Tyler. Any other under the radar games or teams that you're liking that maybe the market's not as much?
Not really. To be honest, I haven't really looked at that. I've just been looking more at the props.
Right.
Yeah, and the only things I really like are favorites this week. So
yeah. What do you think, Steve? Is there any underrated game?
Yeah, I mean, I think 2 that are probably more considered underrated. One would be the Giants Saints. I know it's not underrated for you, but
it's definitely not in my heart.
But no, I think there's just a lot of ways you can approach it, because the lines are kind of low just with guys like Scatterbo and I mentioned Slayton, but if you want to go like Wandale for yards or something like that, or Theo Johnson touchdown or something, I think those are all fair. And then on the flip side, I think Kamara and Olave and Rashid Shaheed are all fine options as well against a bad Giants defense. So, but then the other one would be the Seattle Tampa game. I think people are maybe focused on like a Rashard White, but Tyler mentioned JSN. I think that's a very good call. And you just mentioned Mbuka, and I would throw in Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin got 10 targets week 1. And as we just mentioned, Seattle's secondary is still banged up. Like that's probably their Achilles heel right now. So they have a much better defensive front, which is why I don't think you should target Rachaad White's like rushing yards. But in the passing game, we know Baker will air it out, and Darnold hasn't been really pushed at all this year. This could be a game where he gets pushed, so it could get a little more fun than usual. Yeah,
no, I definitely agree with that a lot. And we have, I'm going to butcher the name, so I apologize. Rasoon Walton, thank you for joining us. I like this call. Baker Mayfield, 2+ passing touchdowns. I respect the Seattle defense, but I think it's going to have to get done through the air with Bucky out. Like I said, I mentioned the Rachaad White receiving the Mbuka touchdown. Well, obviously, I think that makes a ton of sense to like Baker for 2 passing touchdowns. The other underrated game I would say is Dolphins Panthers. I think it's, 2 offenses that don't excite us, but Tyler mentioned Achane, you mentioned T-Mac. I think there's some stuff there in that game because the defenses are bad. They're 2 bad defenses.
I was going to throw out a touchdown prop on that. I mean, I mentioned T-Mac earlier, and I think that's fair. He hasn't gotten there yet, so I think he's a little underpriced for that reason. But Rico Dowdle, he's going to be a feature back. Hubbard's out. He's -110. Rarely do we get a feature back -110. Like he's going to split with Trevor Etienne, who's more of a passing down back as it is. So if there's anything short yardage, I know maybe they don't have any short yardage opportunities because we're talking about the Panthers offense, but it's either going to be Bryce Young running it in or Rico running it in.
Yeah, no, I like that. Okay, so we covered props, we covered touchdowns, and appreciate you, Rasoon, for joining us. If you haven't subbed already, sub to the Fanspeak Network, and anybody else who's joined us who hasn't subscribed yet, because we have betting, DFS, Underdog Dailies shows every single weekday, sometimes multiple day, like today. Degen Dad will be on later tonight at 9:30. But we appreciate you guys all joining us. Those that have come in and hit the like button, we appreciate you as well. All right, guys, now let's talk parlays. I know Tyler has to go in 10 minutes, and I'd love to build a lotto with Tyler too. Build a $5 lotto every Friday. Let's go. So, Tyler, what is your favorite parlay of week 5?
Yeah, I built mine while you guys were talking about the things. I wanted to shop the number around.
Yeah.
Best number I could find is 185 to 1.
Okay. Oh.
So we're just going to build it on the running backs we talked about. Hampton touchdown and 100 yards. Achane 100 yards and a touchdown. And then I'm going to bring in Saquon at 100 and a touchdown. And I get you 185 to 1.
There we go.
I think it's a big running back week. I think those 3 guys are in spots where they could just crush.
Now, did you do 100 rush receiving for all or just rush?
No, just rush yards.
Okay, so Hampton, Achane, Saquon, Hundo touchdown for all 3. I like it. That is fun. Steve, give me yours quick so we can still build a lotto with Tyler. But that is a lotto from Tyler, and I like it. And I'm telling you.
I'm going to steal your team and go do a same game parlay of Giants Saints.
Okay.
And
take
so
my Scatterboo.
Yep.
You better put a Scatterboo promo in there.
I'm going to take Scatterboo touchdown.
Okay.
Nice. I'm going to take what I said earlier, Slayton receiving 50 plus. And then I'm going to go to the other side and take Chris Olave 60 plus receiving. It's a very small 3-man same game parlay plus 700 on DK. You could, ladder it up if you feel more confident on like a Chris Olave or something like that. But I think it's very simple, but likely to happen. These 2 offenses are we know where the ball's going. And so I'm going to target them.
Yeah, no, I think that is totally fair. I like that. All right. I'm building one right now for the Cowboys Jets, because I think that's a game that a lot of people are going
I have another just like a shot in the dark for pizza money that I think could be
all right. Let's hear it.
We've watched running backs gouge Baltimore defense for the last couple of weeks, and they just keep getting weaker and weaker. And Houston's offense isn't all that good. What's to say they can't get in the red zone a couple of times, and it just has to be Woody Marks or Nick Chubb because they can't move the ball any other way. Woody Marks 2 touchdowns is 14 to 1, and then the second leg, you pivot off of Achane from the first parlay because Miami falls inside the 5-yard line twice and Ollie Gordon gets in, and you just put them both together for 2 touchdowns each. It's 345 to 1.
I was going to say that has got to be spicy. No, I like it.
There's pathways where that happens, though, where the main running backs that are minus money to score get their touchdowns poached by these guys.
Right. No, that totally makes a ton of sense.
I wouldn't go betting anything more on like $5-10 on that.
Right. Like you said, pizza money.
A Chipotle, bet a Chipotle bowl on it.
I forget. You had said Breece Hall 100+ rush receiving, right?
That was me. Yeah,
that was you. What did he get on the ground last week?
Oh,
I know he had 30 receiving at least.
I'd have to look it up. He got, I want to say 60 some.
Okay. Yeah, I do want to. Okay, so not official here, but yeah, just writing down. Let me just write this down in case, because sometimes we work off this when we then actually build our parlays for the weekend that we send out, because we send out to our Substack subs on Saturday, our official bets, our official parlays. And so I'm just writing down this really quick. So Garrett Wilson, 70, Pickens, 80, Ferguson, 50, Fields 50 rushing, and Hall 100+ rush receiving. That's a humdinger because it's 42. Did I put something else in here? Or is this truly 42? Yeah, no, it's 42 to 1. So you could obviously water any of those legs down or take out any legs you don't like, but there's just not going to be a ton of defense in this game, I don't think. So that's why there's a lot to like. And it's fairly condensed on both sides, with now Braylon Allen out, we know it's Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor. It's Javonte Williams, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson. Yeah, Tolbert will get a little something, but it's not like some of these like Washington offense. That's a nightmare, right? There's 3 running backs. There's all these tertiary receivers. It's a nightmare outside of like Ertz and Debo. So this is like, where it's going on each side. So 42 to 1's a little wild, but that's just a game I like a lot. So I'm going to do different versions of that. All right. Before Tyler, we get out of here in a couple minutes, let's build a wild 3-leg lotto like we did last week. We each pick a leg that we push the hell out of to make like at least a 50 to 1. Okay, we're soon also just because I appreciate people jumping in, giving their props they like too. Like Mike Robb likes laddering up Henry. I like the Baker Mayfield call, and Darren Waller 3 receptions. I think that is fair. We saw the usage last week, and Tyreek Hill, it's going to go somewhere outside of Waddle. So Waddle, A-Chain, Waller. I think Waddle or 3 receptions is a good look for that. All right. Who wants to go first? I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to push the hell out of here.
I'll go first. I just want to double check one thing.
Okay.
I know what I want. I just want to see his numbers from last year because he only has 1 game to go off of this year.
Okay.
It's going to be a Chris Godwin leg.
Okay.
Give me 8+ receptions for Chris Godwin.
8+ receptions.
Plus 430 on that.
Nice. Wow. Okay. Really? I'm surprised. What did he get last week? He got targeted.
He got 10 targets, but he only had 3 catches.
Yeah.
Okay.
But same with Mbuka. Mbuka had 10 and only got 4 catches. So.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Godwin, 8+ receptions. I like that. Steve, what are you thinking?
I'm going to stick at the receiver and go with the guy I mentioned, and that's T-Mac. Take him up to 100, and that's plus 366.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. I got to find these. I'm just trying to build it as we go here. So
for anyone that was going to bet that Woody Marks 2 touchdowns and the Ollie Gordon one, I don't know what Bet365's odds are doing compared to like FanDuel, but like FanDuel is 345 to 1 on that. Bet365 is 700 to 1 on that.
Whoa. Holy. That is wild. Okay, so I'm going here. Sorry, I'm adding Godwin now. Okay, so we got 8 Godwin receptions plus 434, 100 plus T-Mac yards. Steve, what's the highest yards he's had? I'm just curious. I know against the Dolphins.
80 or 90.
Okay, and then I'm trying to decide between 2. I'm trying to decide, do I do like David Montgomery touchdown plus yardage, or just push the hell out of his yardage? What do you got? Or just David Montgomery 2 touchdowns. I was thinking different looks for it, but I wanted to do a David Montgomery themed one. Which look do you like the best?
Probably his 2 touchdowns.
I like those 2 touchdowns better.
Okay. All right. Let's do that. So let me find that. Touchdown scores, 2 touchdowns. And let's see what this bad boy is going to print out here. I like just like 3 legs to sweat. Like last night, Steve, the lotto we built on the show, you picked one, I picked one, we picked one together. It was 3 legs, and it was fun. We got the 1 leg, and it was like, oh my God, we just need 8 more McCaffrey and 21 more of this. I know it didn't get there, but I like just
what
sweating.
Was our 3rd leg? It was Godwin, Montgomery, and what was the 3rd one?
T-Mac, a hundo.
I like that.
Why can I not find Detroit touchdowns? I'm building this on DraftKings. I'll shop it out before I put it on.
88 to 1 on FanDuel.
Okay, good. I'm working on DraftKings here, so let me see what it is on DraftKings. 93 to 1. Okay, so again, T-Mac 100 plus receiving, Chris Godwin 8+ receptions, David Montgomery 2+ touchdowns. 93 to 1 on DraftKings. I'll have to look and see if they have a boost. I'll throw this puppy on Twitter and, of course, put it in Substack. I like this. I think this is a lot of fun. You said you're in lockstep too, Tyler. You like this one?
Yeah, I like this one.
Okay.
I'm building it out over on Bet365 to see what we get on that also.
Okay, nice. Steve, how do you feel about it?
No, I think it's pretty strong. I think all 3 are in a real spot to get there. And like I said last week, this is one I will probably, kind of ladder it and kind of go like a T-Mac 80, Godwin 6, Monty 1, and then, do this as well. And then,
I did a watered down version of ours. And it was our guy Scattaboo that didn't get there because I did Hampton 1 touchdown, whatever, Genty less yards, which he got to his big ladder yards. And I think I did just like Scattaboo's receiving line or 20 or something like that. You didn't get there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I did that too.
Yeah. So 2 out of 3 legs got there when you kind of watered it down. So you could do that. Best Ball and Call. Don't be like me. Remember to like Best Ball and Call. You always like and remind it. We appreciate you. Thank you for giving that reminder, hitting that like button. We appreciate you. That is the lotto. Again, we will put it on Twitter, put it on Substack. Again, free week trial for the Fanspeak Substack, link in the description, and then just $34.99 for the entire year. We'll be sending out DFS plays tomorrow, all our bets tomorrow, parlays tomorrow, including this one, and more, and hopefully more good to come. Tyler, do you have a time to give Mike Robb your most confident prop or TD? He's going to
be Montgomery's rushing yards.
I like that. Okay, Steve, give your most confident line or TD. It could be either. Confident.
I'll say Pickens receiving yards.
I like that. Mike, mine is going to be, I want to be Cam Scotto, but it's going to be Tyler Warren's receiving line. So Pickens receiving line, Tyler Warren receiving line, and David Montgomery rushing line. That's your prop party special. And then Andrew and Justin usually give them a Degen Dads one. 9:30 tonight, watch the Degen Dads. So yes, we appreciate the Fanspeak engagement. Send me that slip, Mike, and I'll tweet it out. But then we'll also be tweeting our lotto out too. Kick says, great show. We appreciate it. By Rudy. Yeah, he's working on some toys down there now. But no, we appreciate all you joining us for the show, hitting that like button. And let's have a great week 5. This has been a lot of fun. Final thoughts, Tyler, sorry, and then we'll get on out of here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good week. I think we found a bunch of winners. Hopefully our lotto cashers this time.
I think, hey, you were close. I was the farthest away. Steve hit. We're going to get there. So hopefully this one hits. Steve, what do you think? Final thoughts for week 5?
Yeah, no, good luck, everyone. And hopefully we get, like another good week. We're off to a good start last night.
Yeah.
And I feel good about this week, and we'll come up with our clear official plays and on our Substack. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. I like this lotto. Look for all the official plays tomorrow on the Substack. Watch Degen Dads tonight at 9:30. This has been fun. Let's print some money week 5. For Tyler, for Steve, I'm Meg, and we'll see you next time.